so today I'm going to be making fruit bottom yogurt cups, and I have 2 of our bags of milk, which equals 2.8 quarts, so that we have an exact measurement here. And I'm going to take this up to 180 degrees, and then we're going to turn it down. Okay, and as I've done in the past, I'm going to take 2 mason jars of scalding hot water. You can boil the water, but the water in my sink is fairly hot. So, and I'm going to be putting them into a cooler. Now the purpose of this is just to bring the temperature in the cooler up a notch to allow the yogurt to ferment, I guess is the term. So I'll put this aside for the time being and allow it to get warm, and meanwhile we'll come back to the pot on the stove of milk. I'm also going to run cold water in the sink now to allow it so I can cool the milk down quickly. Now you don't have to do that. You can allow the milk to cool down on its own. So what we do is we take it up to 180 degrees, and then we take it down to 110. So we're pasteurizing it. We're taking it up to 180 to pasteurize it. And then we bring it down to 110 before we add our yogurt culture. Now, you can buy yogurt starter, but I just tend to use store-bought yogurt that has live cultures and just the plain. So that works just as well. So whenever I run out of homemade yogurt, I do go out and buy one little tub of the plain yogurt with live cultures in it, and I can use that to, I eat some of it, and then I could use the balance of it to start my own homemade yogurt again. So, okay, so I've also placed a thermometer in this milk so that I'll know when it gets up to temperature. And meanwhile, I'm going to prepare my fruit bottom little cups. And once again, this is the first time I've tried this. We'll see how it works. Okay, my milk is just about up to 200 degrees, which is just about at boiling. It's definitely gone to 180, so I am going to take it off the heat and cool it down. At this point, we want to take it down to 110 degrees, and I've just got it in the sink cooling off. Meanwhile, I'm preparing my little cups here. I've got the peach jam that I made. And this is what I was going to do with it. I was going to do fruit bottom cups with peach jam, and I was looking for blueberry, but it looks like I've finished my blueberry jam, so I don't know that grape jelly will work, so I'm not going to bother using grape jelly in this. And I did find that somebody gave me a jar of apricot jam, so I'm going to try this as well. Okay. Let me taste it first. Yes, that's tasty. Okay, so we're going to add the jam to the bottom of these little cups that I have. About probably, I'm using a small spoon here, but I would say it's probably about a tablespoon and a half, or sorry, yeah, tablespoon and a half per cup. Might as well use this all up. It's almost gone now. I have no idea how many cups this yogurt is going to make. I've got 14 cups there, but I don't think it's going to use all of them. Meanwhile, I'm watching the temperature here. We want to get this down to 110, and so far it's down to about 170. Okay. Now this will give my plain yogurt some flavor. And I think we want to do, I've got 3, 6, so 6 of each. Should probably do it. Okay, put that one aside. And I don't know that I'll be able to tell the difference between one and the other because the color is pretty much the same. But that's fine. I'll go by the taste. Now I have no idea if the milk will harden on top of these or if it'll mix in or what's going to happen. So we're just going to have to make this and see how it works out. I know that you can buy store-bought fruit bottom fruits, but I thought I'd try making my own. So here's the peach jam that I made. I don't think I'm going to pour any more until I know how many. I'll just do 4 of the peach jam because I have no idea if this milk will do more than 6 little containers. It probably should because I think I get like 10 normally. And I'm filling these up, so I probably should get more, but that's fine. If there's any extra, I'll just do them plain at this point. So, a little bit messy with one, so I'll wipe the edge here. Okay, so these 4 are my homemade peach jam, and this is my apricot jam, and just waiting for the milk to cool off now. Okay, our milk is now down to 110 degrees, and I have got about 125 grams of my store-bought plain yogurt with active cultures here. So around 125 grams is fine. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'm giving you that figure because that's what I'm using here today. So what we want to do is take some of the milk and blend this in. And since that's all mixed now, we will pour this right into the milk. And blend this in. So it's all mixed up fairly thoroughly at this point. And then all that's left to do, once you feel that that's mixed up good, which it is, is to pour these into these little cups. Now, as I said, I have no idea whether or not the milk will stay on top, but we'll have to see. Just pour it in slowly. Looking good. Okay, there's my first fruit bottom cup. And it looks like as long as I don't try to pour it too quickly, we're going to be fine. Perfect. Now, I don't know if I can bring the camera closer to show you. Maybe take it from this angle. Okay. Yes, that seems to be working out quite nicely, actually. And I suspect that we'll have more than the 10 cups because obviously the jams are taking up some space. Now that one's sinking a bit, but that's fine. Should just pour a little bit slower. I really don't want it to mix up. I want the jam to stay at the bottom. So that when the yogurt hardens up, it sits at the top and the jam sits at the bottom. Yay! It looks like I am making my own yogurt fruit cups. And I will have some left over that will be just plain, which is fine. This is definitely a slow pour job. Okay, I'll get back to you when these are all done. Okay, it appears as though some were more successful than others at keeping the fruit at the bottom, but I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. Now I've managed to actually fill up all 14 of these. I take as well, so I have some plain, some with the apricot jam, some with the peach jam that I made, and I also have one, I guess that's a half pint size that I didn't have enough little containers for, so that will be what I put aside for my next batch of yogurt. Okay, so now we'll cap all of these and we'll put them in the cooler that I've prepared. Just warming it up. All we're doing with the cooler is just keeping the inside of it slightly warm. And then we let these sit in the cooler anywhere from 4 to 10 hours. The longer you leave it in, the more bitter tasting yogurt you'll have, so it depends on how you like your yogurt. Okay. Now I do have to get a different lid here. And there's my lid for that one. Okay, let's get our cooler. And it should feel slightly warm in this cooler now. It is. I can feel the heat coming off it. And here we go. No special equipment needed. The little cups are just my preference. They can certainly be made in one large container, although I don't think you want to do the fruit bottom ones in a large container. So, there we go. And yes, after these have stayed in this environment from 4 to 10 hours, I usually leave it about 4 or 5, 6 maybe. Then they go in the fridge overnight. And always firmed out nicely by then. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so I went out for the day and got back, and it's at least 4 hours later, and my yogurt has firmed up nicely, and the jam has stayed at the bottom, which is what I was hoping for. So I'm going to take them out of the cooler and put them in the refrigerator. So we do have some that are just plain, and others that have apricot jam and the peach jam that I made specifically for this. And I think the apricot jam was a little bit firmer, so it tends to stay at the bottom a little bit better. Yes, that's fine. We've got quite a few here. Okay, that's all of them. Nice and firm. And I'll have to wash out the cooler at some point, but not at this moment. Okay. So that is my new experiment, and it looks awesome. I think it turned out exactly the way I wanted to. So my yogurt fruit cups. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and share, like, and please subscribe. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video.